Hi guys, Keith Arkenberg Farms. It is first week of February and it is cold out here. I think it's, well, I just checked actually. It is just at the freezing mark and it is late afternoon. We already got the sun setting on the sky. But today I want to go through and discuss and show you why it's so important to vent our greenhouses even when it's this cold outside. Also, as a reminder, every third Thursday of the month, we do a live Q&A to answer all your questions and talk about what's going on the farm. That's the third Thursday every month at 5 p.m. Central Time. Also, don't forget to go over to arkenbergfarms.com, scroll down the bottom, digital tools and training. Got a bunch of cool spreadsheets down there. Then finally, we are booking Mother Earth News Fairs this year. I'm going to be at all 4 of them. We're going to be doing Texas, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, and Lawrence, Kansas. While I'm there, I'm going to be setting up some consult times to set up an hour to go over whatever you'd like to discuss on your farm. I will be getting ready to start booking those. They'll be on the website as well. So hope to see you all there and help everybody out as much as possible. So I have 2 greenhouses, one vented, one not vented. I have the exact same container in both of them. Now we're going to put the lid on both of them, go put them in the walk-in and see what happens. So here's the difference in between our 2 samples after we chilled them in the walk-in. Vented side, very little condensation in the top, nothing in the bottom really. Not vented, good amount of condensation in the top of the jug. Again, really nothing in the bottom. Now, as you'll see here in a second, venting and not venting, temperature-wise, there's not a huge difference in the amount of actual water vapor in the air. But when you vent, you're continuously removing that amount from the air to where you constantly have clean air throughout the day, which over that time period, when you're removing a set quantity over and over again, you're actually removing a lot throughout that time. So as we saw there, the amount of moisture in the air greatly depends on the temperature of the environment it is in. Kind of imagine it in like buckets. Like warm air holds about this much water, where cold air would hold this much water. I actually did go online and find some relations for this. So every 20 degrees in Fahrenheit that you go up, the air will hold twice as much water as it would. So if I went at 30 degrees, it'll hold roughly half as much as it would up at 50. I actually did some numbers on this. At 50 degrees Fahrenheit, 1 pound of dry air, which we'll get to that here in a second, holds about 1/8 ounce of water. At 70 degrees Fahrenheit, it holds 1/4 ounce of water. So what is a dry pound of air? Well, from what I found is 1 pound of dry air is roughly 12 cubic feet of air. So we're in a caterpillar tunnel and there's a lot of air in here. We are 17 foot across, roughly 8.5 foot tall. So we got about 10,000 cubic feet of air in here. So you take that and divide it by the 12, you end up with about 850 pounds of dry air in this tunnel. That is a lot, but then again, it is not a lot. So in a tunnel this big, if I go from 50 degrees to 70 degrees, I'm holding 10 ounces more of water in the air. Same thing if I go from 70 and then I drop it down to near freezing, which would be venting on a day like today, I am dumping 20 ounces of water. I mean, that doesn't seem like a lot, but that is roughly 20 ounces of water. That is a lot of water coming out of this tunnel that is just trapped in the air. So that's why it's very important. You're trading off your bucket's size basically, and the warm air, it holds this much water. In the cold air, it holds this much water. In exchange, you dump out this much water. And why is that important? We're going to go down here to the other end of the tunnel and I can show you exactly why it's important. So we can see exactly why it's so important. Over here, we've got good ventilation in between all of our rows. So we're not having much issues. We got a couple drops there, but I think I did that during the weeding process. Over here, you can really see what's going on here. I've got horrible lettuce drop going on. I've actually cleared out all of this just because of the drop. So we'll go down here and closer. And this is what lettuce drop is. It literally just drops. This one is getting the same thing. These seem to be a little bit more hardy. They just have no bag life. But I've got it all throughout here. And it just becomes more and more as time progresses. And basically what it does is it rots the plant from the bottom up. There's just no airflow, nowhere for it to go. And once it starts, it pretty much just keeps going. Like I said, this whole bed right here was completely filled in with leaf lettuce that never got harvested simply because it just kept dying. I mean, I've got some in here that's still making it, but as the days go by, they just start to get worse and worse looking. And the worst part of all is, once you harvest it with this stuff in it, it'll actually continue to do this in the walk-in and in the bag. So you gotta be really careful to get any of that out of there during the post-harvest process, or it gets even worse. That's why it's so bad over here. You can just see them dropping. But when you come over here, all looks good all the way up. So I hope that made sense without really going too far down the rabbit hole on this. More than anything, warm air holds more water than cool air. That's why on the plastic around me, there's condensation on it. It's warm air in here, cold out there, so it's condensating right on the plastic. The less water and fluid you have in your tunnel, the less likely you are to have diseases in your lettuce crop. That's why the last time I watered this thing, I want to say it was probably mid-October, and it's February now. So it's November, December, January, February. That's 4 months ago. It's the last time I watered. Have not worried about it, have not had any problems. Everything's still growing great. I've actually gotten to harvest some of this really late broccoli that I got in way too late. It's actually making nice little broccoli heads on it. Completely surprised by that, didn't expect it. The cabbages behind it, they're kind of stalled out, but they look like they're trying to go. I hope I can get them to size just a little bit more before it actually goes and bolts on me, because it just might when the temperatures change. But all in all, hope y'all like what you saw today. Thought it was useful. If you did, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank y'all. Have a good day. And don't forget, February 18th and 19th, I'll be at the Mother Earth News Fair in Belton, Texas. If you want to set up some consulting times, that'd be a great time to do it. I'll be speaking on Sunday, midday, and then afternoon. I'll be doing both my presentations that day, so I hope to see y'all there. So, again, thank y'all. Have a good day.